Hey guys, it is currently 2:26 in the morning on September 10th. I am currently playing Uncharted, which you can probably hear some faint music in the background from that. I'm not 100% sure if you'll be able to. And then I'm also editing a work in progress video for September 3rd through September 7th, I think, is where it ends. And then I'll be exporting that and starting to upload that. And then I will be editing the video for the weekend and exporting that. At the moment, I started today with working on Rasmussen. I completed a chapter there, which was only about another, 85 words, it looks like, I think. And then I started another chapter and it added words. I can't do math in my head, but either way I ended up with 466 words altogether, which brought my total for Rasmussen up to 15,081 words. So in between everything else, I'm going to be moving on to Hearts and Roses. I think I'm still working on a chapter in that one. Hold on. Yeah, I am working on a chapter from Ashton's point of view in Hearts and Roses. I have my Bluetooth keyboard connected to my phone. That is what I am typing on right now because my tablet is busy with video editing. And I will be doing this until the keyboard dies. But that is the game plan. I will fill you guys in again once I accomplish something on Hearts and Roses and move on to a new book. Alrighty, it is 5:46 in the morning and I just finished working on Grim Reaper a little bit. I just finished a scene that I had started the last time that I was working on this one. And that leaves the next project to work on, Ashes in the Light, which means that once I wake up, that is what I will start with and then go from there. The work in progress video is slowly uploading. I'm going to stay out here until 6 or so, and then I will unplug my tablet, move it back to my room, and let it upload until my tablet shuts itself off at about 10% or so, and then I'll plug it back in when I wake up and let it keep uploading. But I'm going to just play Uncharted for a little bit longer, until about 6, so about 10 more minutes. And then I'm going to turn on the coffee pot for my mom, brush my teeth, and go to bed. But I will see you guys at some point in the afternoon. Alrighty, it is 5:08 p.m. I'm a little stuffy in the head and nose, and I don't know if you guys can hear that as clearly as I can, but if you can, I apologize. I had to do a few things around the house and run over to my grandma and grandpa's for water, but I am finally sitting here and ready to work on Ashes in the Light, despite how badly I do not want to. I tend to edit the document here, and then I take notes either on my phone or my tablet, depending. My tablet is charging and is not very far into the charging process, so I will probably go grab my Bluetooth keyboard and connect it to my phone so that way I can take notes that way. In order to meet the original 39,240 word goal by September 12th, I have to edit 6,956 words per day, which would be today, tomorrow, and the day after. I don't know if I can do that, just because this book takes a lot out of me, just because of the fact that I know there's so much wrong with it right now. But I'm going to be doing my best. That's not counting any of the scenes that I need to add. Once the notes are done, I will then reassess how long I think I'm going to need, presumably a couple days, depending, especially since Wednesday, if everything goes okay, I'm supposed to be out of the house in the afternoon for a photo ID and hopefully bank account set up afterward, but we will see. But that will cut down on my editing time depending on how the day goes and if everything goes as planned. So I'm going to do as much of it as I can today and as much of it as I can tomorrow and see what happens. But Ashes in the Light is the first thing that I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to be working on that until 9 or 10, just depending on how long it takes to reach the just under 7,000 words for the day. But I have a lot of notes to take and a lot of things to highlight and determine what's correct and what's incorrect. On Google Docs, I've just been highlighting sections and commenting if I think that there's something wrong with that, or like, this is mentioned here, is this ever mentioned again, stuff like that. That's one of the things I like about Google Docs, is the ability to jot down little notes here and there. But that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to hope for the best, and I'm going to hope that my head slowly stops being so echoey and stuffy. That will presumably make it at least a little easier to edit if that goes away, but if not, I'm going to push through and do what I can. But either way, I will update you guys once I accomplish something in Ashes in the Light. Alrighty. It is 9:40 p.m. and I just finished editing maybe the 3rd chapter today? 4th chapter today. That was the longest chapter out of all of them. That one was 1,903 words. But altogether I edited 4,611 words. I cannot bring myself to do any more than that right now. But I highlighted a couple more things on Google Docs that I think are never mentioned again, despite the fact that they are presumably at least a little bit important. And otherwise everything is going relatively smoothly. I'm just bored of editing at the moment, and I've been tired for like the last hour and a half. Sometimes looking at the big computer screen, like the actual desktop monitor, and my tablet is just a bit much for my eyes to handle, so I'm going to take a break from editing, move on to writing, and then maybe I will get back to editing when I'm in the living room, despite how much I hate editing on my phone, but sometimes I actually accomplish more that way. So I'm going to move on to Pittman's Legend, get a little bit written there, and then Calvin, and then I will move on to the painter, but I will update you guys at some point in between all of that. Alright, so it is 11:49 on September 11th. September 11th is always a rather unproductive day for me. It doesn't matter if I'm writing or drawing, or it doesn't matter. It's just a relatively unproductive day for me. So I will just run through the things I did. I hit a little over 30,000 on the painter today. I finished a chapter in Letters from a Madman. I finished a chapter in Tito Vito. And I just continued a chapter in Rasmussen. So, once it hits midnight, I'm going to start working on Hearts and Roses, or at least attempt to. It tends to take a little bit for my productivity to shoot back up, but we will see. The goal is to go into town tomorrow and get my photo ID and hopefully a bank account, so that way I can actually start receiving my payments from CreateSpace, soon to be KDP, since they changed everything over to digital instead of being mailed out. So I need to sort that out, but I am going to do what I can to work through as much of this as I can tomorrow. But either way, I will see you guys again when I accomplish something. Alrighty, so it is 3:33 in the morning on September 12th, and I just finished writing a chapter of Hearts and Roses. The next one will be from Ashton's point of view, and honestly, I think that I'm just going to keep working on this one. My goal today was to hit 54,000 words, which I did, and I don't know how much longer this book is going to be, but I think we're approaching the end of this book and the start of book 2, so I'm going to move on to Ashton's chapter here in a few and see what happens for the rest of the morning. I might try to finish this book this week, but we will see. Either way, I am playing Uncharted in between writing, so I will get back to you guys at some point when I accomplish something. Alrighty, it is 4:09 in the afternoon. I've just gotten home from in town, successfully got my photo ID, successfully opened a bank account. Things are going okay today. I'm actually very surprised everything went according to plan in that regard. But I have a dog that needs to be let back inside here in a few, and then I'm going to wash dishes and then get into editing Ashes in the Light and still writing, so I'm just going to be alternating between my books and editing Ashes in the Light. So I don't know how much I will accomplish, but either way, I will update you guys eventually. I think I'm still going to be working on Hearts and Roses. I just feel like that has been going well today, and since being out in public tends to stress me out at least a little bit, I think that I'm going to keep working on that one for now, just so that way I can have something going well, and then working on Ashes in the Light in between, and then I'll fill you guys in when I accomplish something. Alright, it is 11:41 p.m. and I just finally finished editing a chapter of Ashes in the Light. I also extended a scene in that chapter. I have not been extending scenes or adding scenes or deleting scenes so far, but that one just felt like it needed to be extended, and because I actually felt like I wanted to do it, I did. Mostly I've just been noting where things need to be extended or added, but this one actually felt like I could do it right now, so that is what I did. The chapter ended up being 1,030 words by the end, and that ends part 4 of the book, so the next chapter will be in part 5. So I think she is squeaking her toy because she wants to go outside, because earlier she came in here creepily and dripped water all over the couch, so I would assume that's why. So I will probably let her outside, and I'm going to be editing Ashes in the Light in between writing and playing Uncharted. It is a nice balance of things, and I think it actually helps keep my brain focused a little more because it gives me multiple things to do, and it helps keep me more awake than I normally am out here because it's pretty dark with just this light on, so it's easier for my brain to convince itself that it's tired. So I am going to do that. I am running on 4-ish hours of sleep, so I might cave and go to sleep early or take a nap at some point. But either way, I am going to try and do as much work as I can on Ashes in the Light, all of my books, and just go from there. In between this, the book that I will be starting with is Feckenhauer, I believe, and then Grim Reaper. But either way, I will, as always, do my best to keep you guys updated. It is 2:34 in the morning, and I finished working on a chapter in Grim Reaper a little bit ago. I didn't finish the chapter, I just finished working on it. I wrote 571 words in Grim for today, and right now I am editing the work in progress video that I recorded for last Saturday and Sunday, and then I will start uploading that. This one appears that it will only be about 8.5 minutes, give or take. And then while that's exporting, I'm going to switch out of Uncharted and switch to Dying Light, record a video there, so that way I can start editing that for Friday. And then once that is exported, I will go back to working on Ashes in the Light and moving back to writing as well. I will still be alternating throughout the morning, presumably. That is the plan. But that'll take me a while to edit, export, record, edit,
start uploading. But once I get through all of that, I will update you guys again on any progress that is made with writing and editing. Right, so it is 4:58 and I am currently uploading the next work in progress video, which covers the weekend, I believe. And then outside of that, I've just been working on coloring in Kayla's dress. There's some more stuff that needs to change with it, but I will do that later. I am going to try and do some more work on Ashes in the Light. I recorded a gaming video for Dying Light, and then I will edit that probably after I wake up and start uploading it then. Kind of depends, but I am going to see what I can accomplish here, hopefully into something, and I will update you guys at least one more time before I go to sleep. Alrighty, so I was doing edits throughout the morning, sort of, but altogether I've edited 1,788 words today. At this point, I do think that I'm going to move my stuff and get ready for bed, because I don't think that I can stare at these screens any longer, but I did accomplish something. So when I wake up, I think I'm going to run through a Pittman's Legend, Calvin, and then once I get through both of those, I will then switch back to the painter and work on Ashes in the Light, and then I will work through all of these guys while editing Ashes in the Light in between. I think that alternating between editing and writing will make it a little less taxing and feel a little less stressful. That is the hope, anyway. Things may change depending on how I feel after I wake up, and depending on if that does help alleviate any of the stress of it or not. Either way, I either need to finish this edit or push it aside for a little while so I can start It Starts With Goodbye, so I can start the next edit for It Starts With Goodbye. Either way, I will update you guys sometime after I wake up. It is 12:01 in the morning on Friday. I have been working on the painter. It just has not been going very well, so I haven't put down any words in my app. I think I've managed 200 words in the last hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm not 100% sure. But I have not accomplished much in it just yet. But I am going to stop working on writing for a little bit. I'm going to edit the gaming video that needs to be uploaded today. I should have done it yesterday, but I just didn't. I have like 40 minutes of footage in hopes that I will be able to cut it down to 20 minutes, because a lot of it is just walking around and doing nothing. So I'm going to do what I can with that and then export the video, and while it's uploading I will be getting back to writing. But presumably it'll take half an hour or more to export, so I will see you guys eventually when I get back to working on the painter, and presumably when I actually accomplish something on it. It is 2:37 in the morning, and the Dying Light video for today, Friday, finally exported, so I'm going to start uploading that to YouTube. That'll take a very long time, so I will most likely end up leaving my tablet on overnight, but I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to slowly work my way through the painter, and I will update you guys at some point. I guess it just depends on how slow progress is, but depending on that, I will see you guys relatively soon or right before I go to sleep. Alrighty, so I just finished doing some writing on Tito Vito. I got a little further than I was expecting to, so that's a plus. When I wake up, I will be starting with Rasmussen. At the moment, today's video is 20% uploaded, so that is also slowly making progress. I'm going to be plugging my tablet in my back in my bedroom and letting it continue to upload while I'm asleep, but I am going to get everything closed out here and turned off out here, and then I will head back to my room and hopefully get some sleep soon. But either way, I will see you guys in the afternoon when I accomplish something on Rasmussen.